American University is famous for its International Study Abroad program and the opportunities provided to AU students to travel abroad. The program has recently moved up in national ranking from 12th to 8th among doctoral research institutions for the number of undergraduate students who studied abroad during their college years. But what about the large number of international students who studied here in DC? Does the program adequately fulfill the needs of students from various cultures and lifestyles? Here tonight we have Nanako Kishimoto, a student from Japan who's been on campus for the past year, to tell us about her experience as a student abroad at AU. Thank you for joining us. Nanako, thank you so much for coming tonight.
Hi.
I really appreciate it.
No problem.
So to start off, you are a freshman here at AU, and the program that you're involved in is a dual undergraduate degree program.
Yeah.
Which means that you'll get a degree both from AU and from a Japan university.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was it exactly that interested you in coming to American University? There are a lot of universities here in the United States.
Yeah.
So what drew you to AU?
Because I heard that American University is really strong about like international relations, and so I was interested in international relations, and that's why I came here.
Really brought you here.
Yeah.
Okay. How has it been going from Japan to living in a dorm with a roommate that you don't know in the United States? I know that can be a bit of a culture shock in itself.
At the beginning, it was really hard. Yeah, my roommate is American, and she's really nice, and she's really kind, and I like her, but like living together and sharing together is really like first time for me. So it was really hard, but like the time goes by and I'm getting used to it.
Getting used to it, right. Now, does the AU Study Abroad program, does it provide any resources for international students to try to form a community within a foreign community itself? Do international students do excursions into various areas of DC?
Yeah, pretty much like ISSS, like international students, something.
Right.
They are really helpful. Like, yeah, if I had trouble, if just go and talk to them, and they just solve my problems.
And they'll help you talk to the correct faculty member or whoever it is on AU staff that you need to address. Okay. How has it been living in DC? DC is known as a very diverse city, and we have a lot of things that attract people. It's a national capital, so we've got museums. What have you done in the past year that's helped you adjust to American culture?
Well, I think I could be into almost all museums and memorials, and it was really cool. Yeah, I really like it. Yeah.
That's very good. Was there anything that in particular got your interest that you're like, wow, I wish we had this in Japan, or this is something that really helped me understand the culture and the students at AU, kind of know what their background is?
Like war memorials, like Vietnam War Memorial, like World War II memorials, are really like culture shocked because I didn't have that kind of huge memorials in Japan, so I was really kind of shocked about it.
Right, that we would have that, just the amount of reverence that we have for people who have fought. That's great. What about, so you've done almost all your education in Japan previously before coming to AU. How do you compare the education system to Japan to the one in the United States, right?
Well, like in here, a lot of assignments are readings and papers. I was so shocked. Like in Japan, we just go to the class and listen to the teachers and take some notes, but just that. But in here, we have to like raise my hand and speak out in the class. And also we've got a lot of readings, assignments, and so it was so hard to get used to it.
So there's no like participation grade in your classes?
Not really
in Japan?
In Japan, no. So.
Yeah. Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So overall, what would you recommend the AU Study Abroad program to other students in Japan and from other cultures?
I'm sure I do, because like Japanese students just go to the university to get credit
Right.
not to study. So like studying is really like interesting for me. So I really recommend to them to come over here and study what they want. So I really love to do that.
Well, I just have to congratulate you. Last semester, I was in Beijing and I did my
yeah.
abroad there, and it was very difficult as an international student because
Yeah.
the campus has its own flavor and
Yeah.
its own society, and it was kind of a little bit difficult and to adjust to that, and kind of tended to stay in your own group of people that you found and wanted to be with. So
Yeah.
congratulations, definitely, for being courageous enough to do this kind of program, and I hope that the rest of the semester goes very well for you.
Thank you.
We at Year to Date enjoy an open conversation where everyone's voice is heard. And when someone feels that this isn't happening, we welcome criticism. But when we see the Eagle smearing people without all of the facts, all we can do is frown. This past Thursday, the Eagle came out with a scathing editorial on the smoking bill that the SG passed this afternoon. They also came out with an article about what the bill will include and has included. While the two articles completely contradict themselves, that is not why we are upset. The Eagle decided to print an article that was factually incorrect. For example, they printed the proposal would require smokers to keep 25 feet away from most buildings. But that isn't true. During the Joint Committee on Smoking that met Wednesday, February 20th, they decided to remove the provision that would have forced students to stand 25 feet away from buildings. It's these sorts of things that the Eagle forgot or decided not to add that can give students the wrong impression. While we definitely don't agree with what the Senate spends a lot of its time doing, we do know that Dr. Kerwin will be coming out with a decision on smoking policy at the end of the year. Students have the right to have a voice on this important issue. The #1 rule of journalism is to ensure that your facts are straight before you print something. Year to Date is very disappointed with the Eagle, and we urge them to check their facts before printing an article, and to apologize to the AU community for libeling a group of people who are trying to find a compromise on the smoking issue. When many universities, such as the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, are banning smoking entirely, all opponents to a smoking ban should hope that Dr. Kerwin will keep a courtesy policy in mind when he makes his decision later this year.
Thanks, Colin. Do you want to get involved in Year to Date?
If you want to join our team, please email us at yeartodate@auatv.com.
And that's our show.
We'd like to thank our guests, Baron John Weyerhaeuser, Brian Kalish, Andrew McCracken, and Nanako Kishimoto. We'd also like to thank our crew, Molly Swade, Christina Bartol, Sarah Geminer, and Jason Cunningham.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week.
Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 9:30 for another episode of Year to Date, right here on ATV.
Good night, and thanks for watching.
Good night.